Hey guys, so I'm back now. I know it's been a while, but I was kind of into my preps and stuff, and I was pretty tired and whatnot. But I'm back now, and hopefully a lot more to come of these videos. So this is my just third time training back since I took a 3-week layoff. Just wanted to get a good rest. So just utilizing a lot of machines today. But I always use a lot of machines, as most of you know, anyways. So just starting here with the pullover machine, just a really good way to warm up the back, keep the biceps out of it and stuff. I always like to do some kind of pull down or pullover variation. So we did a couple sets there just to get the back warmed up. Then we moved over to the seated row machine, using a narrow grip, low grip here, trying to really hit the lower mid back here. Really trying to work on back thickness this year, so got to really incorporate a lot of rows. I always do a lot of rows, but try to incorporate a little bit more and T-bar rows and bent over rows. But here we're just using the hammer machine here. I really like this machine a lot. It gives a really good resistance. So just trying to, like I said, hit the lower to mid back, trying to create a little bit more thickness, which I find I need a lot more of. So we're going to be doing a lot of rows this year. Hopefully if my lower back holds up and it doesn't bug me a lot. A lot of T-bar rows, bent over rows, and little rack deads and stuff like that. So we did 4 sets there. And then we went over to a pull down. As most of you know, I like to switch it up. So I'll go from a row to a pull down, back to a row to a pull down, just to hit it from different angles. So we're not just doing rows, and pull downs back to back. So here I'm using this machine. I like it a lot. What I'm doing here, if you notice, I'm leaning forward. So just try to keep the emphasis on my lats. If they lean back too much, then I'll start bringing my elbows back too much. But what I will do is at the end of the set, as you can see here, is I will lean back at the end just to force out a couple more reps, and hit my upper back. Just a good way to finish off the set after fatiguing it, doing the regular pull downs, my lats. And you'll see here from another view what I'm talking about here. So here I'm leaning into the machine, just really keeping the emphasis on my lats here, pulling down, not too much body momentum, trying to get as many clean reps as I can. As you can see here, not moving at all. But as you'll see here soon, when I get fatigued, what I will do is I'll start pulling them back and hitting my upper back. Just a good way to finish off the set, using my body momentum and pulling it high, hitting my upper back, rear delts. Just a good way to finish off the set. I always like to do things like this, because I was already fatigued doing the pull downs. Well, this is a good way to finish off the set, just using a little momentum and hitting my upper back. And then we went back to another row machine. This one I like a lot. It has the versatile handles that you can turn any which way. Sometimes I like to do them underhand. Here we did the overhand, just to try to mimicking basically a basic row. And I really like them a lot because you can really pull the handles more farther back, I find, than when you do the barbell rows. So you get a bit more of a squeeze. And they're very versatile, so you can pull the handles out or in more to target different areas of the back. So we did 4 sets here. I like to do 4 sets of most exercises. I start off lighter, and then I go heavy, and then my heaviest, and then I'll drop it back down to lighter again, so where I can get more squeeze and good mind-muscle connection. So just really trying to pull with the elbows here, not trying to pull with the hands. Always trying to pull with the elbows when I'm doing back movements, and that's a big mistake I find a lot of guys do, is they're pulling too much with their hands. You got to really try to concentrate and try to pull with the elbows down. Then we went down to another pull down exercise, underhand. Try to hit the lower lats, lower to mid back more here, keeping the elbows nice and tight to the body, and driving down with the elbows as hard as you can. I really like these a lot. Getting a good stretch, as you can see, almost pulling me out of the seat basically. That's how much I like to get the stretch, and then a good squeeze at the bottom. And then we did 4 sets there, and what you'll see here on the next set, what I like to do is a variation. I like to do it at the end of each set. It's called rep and stretch. I think I've done it before. I actually seen Shelby Starnes, another IFBB pro, utilize this, and I really like this a lot. And so what happens is, as you get pretty fatigued, what I'll do here is I'll lean back, I'll get a good stretch, and then I'll rep it out. So stretch here, and then force out a rep, and then another stretch, and then force out a rep. And what I'm doing is I'm using the momentum as I'm coming up to pull it down again, and that way you can really get a couple extra force reps. And at the end here, I'm just gonna stretch, get a good stretch there. I'm a big believer of force reps, you know, a big, huge believer of those. Keep them clean, keep the reps clean for as many as you can, and then force them out at the end with force reps. Then we went back to the same row machine, using one-handed though, standing up here, keeping the hand really low, keeping the elbow nice and tight to the body, really trying to target that lower lat. You know, I find I have higher lat insertions, so I'm always trying to bring out the lower lats a little bit more to give me that huge, the bigger wide back. Big stretch here, as you can see, big squeeze. I know we did these two-handed earlier, but I find that when you do them two-handed, you're hitting more lower to mid back, and you can't get as much of a squeeze, and you can't pull it back as much. So I like to go back to this, and like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of rows this year. So that was it for back, and then we moved over to rear delts, which I always do on back day. And here we're using the cable machine, which I like a lot. And as you can see here, I really keep my hands really up high. I find a lot of people do this wrong, and what they'll do is they'll pull it down instead of pulling it high and back. They'll pull it down and back, and what that happens is you incorporate a lot of your traps in there. So I like to keep my hands as high as possible, as much as I can, and that really targets the rear delts. The rear delts are doing all the work here pretty much, and it really works good. So give it a try, and you'll notice a huge difference. And you might need to actually lighten the weight a little bit because you're not incorporating your traps and back as much as possible. It's all rear delts, and this really fries them. I like to go a little bit higher reps when I'm doing my rear delts or shoulders in general, 12 to 15 reps. And then that was pretty much it for rear delts. I usually just do one exercise because they get hit a lot anyways from back exercises. Then we just went to some cable shrugs, just getting back into it, so I don't want to go too crazy. You know, my back feels a little bit tight still, I guess, from all the shows and the weight rebound, because I rebounded pretty good, and I'm sitting at around 285 in the morning right now. So here we're just doing some shrugs, some cable shrugs, just really trying to get a good squeeze. And I really like these a lot, actually. Not a lot of weight, but the resistance, I guess, made it feel a lot heavier than it was. And then, so that was it for that. And then we moved on to biceps, which I always do on the end of back day. Doing some preacher curls here. Just getting a good stretch, good squeeze. You know, try not to use too much momentum until the end there, and forcing out the force reps, like I always do. We did, I think, about 4 sets there. And then we moved over to some concentration curls. I'll do 2 variations here, regular, and then I'll do hammer. I'll do 2 sets of each, just to hit the biceps a little bit different way instead of just doing like 4 sets of regular. And I hear a couple force reps here using my other hand to help force it up, and then controlling the negative. Just a good way to really burn out the biceps and get the most out of them. And it might be hard to see here, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to twist my pinky in at the top, trying to get that, help build up that peak when you twist the pinky in and get that peak. And a couple more force reps there, as you can see. So we did 2 sets of those, and then we did 2 sets of hammer curls to really hit the forearms a bit and hit the long head of the biceps. I always like to do some kind of version of hammer curls when I do biceps. I find they're great. They really hit the forearm good, and they really hit the lower end of the biceps. And here, as you'll see at the end of each set, it's a little harder to use my other hand to help assist at the end. So what I'll just do is I'll just get some momentum at the end on the last couple reps, as you'll see here in a sec, just to really get it up and control and get those last couple reps there. Like I said, the force reps, I'm a big believer in. So that's it for that day. I'm really trying to bring on my back a lot. I find that's one of my weaknesses, and you know, I'm gonna definitely do what I can. This back will definitely look a lot different come next year once I put the work in. So, and that's a wrap.